So one of the first questions that people usually ask, in order for me to become a real estate agent in Ontario, what do I need to do to get my license?
The first step in order to successfully become a real estate agent in Ontario is to complete the AREA courses, the education program for real estate agents. If you're lucky, then you have been registered in the 3 program instead of the 5 program. If not, then you need to complete all 5 courses, and then you need to choose a brokerage of your liking, go there and complete a new agent application form, and get it fully executed by a broker of record.
Perfect. So along with the RICO application, what other qualifications and documents do I need to submit for my application to be processed accurately?
Okay, so along with the RICO application, you need to submit a criminal record check, an original copy. You also would need to submit all your transcripts, whether they're 3 or 5. You would also need to submit a copy of your ID for their records and reference. You would need to submit an affidavit, if applicable, if you choose to use a trade name. And you would also need to submit a letter of employment, if applicable, also.
Perfect. Great. Now, the next question would be, how much are the fees for me to get licensed?
So for a brand new agent, the fees are $590 plus HST.
Okay. Can I have any other employment or business while I'm registered as a real estate agent in Ontario?
You may have other employment, and you may be a business owner if you are a real estate agent in Ontario. However, it does need to be disclosed with RICO.
Okay.
In some cases, when it has to do with financial sectors, they might need a letter of some sort drafted by the agent who's applying, with like a list of responsibilities and duties specifically to their job description. And in other cases, they might even require a letter of employment from the employer, just to make sure that the employer knows that he's applying for his real estate license.
So when do I need to disclose if I do decide to have other business, or if I'm working in business right now?
Okay, so it would need to be, if you're a brand new agent, it would need to be disclosed immediately on the first initial application. Mm-hmm. It can be disclosed upon renewal too, if it's closer to the renewal time, or whenever the employment status changes.
Okay, good. So now that I'm a new agent, or rather I've submitted my application with RICO for new agent, mm-hmm. What's the process like? How long does it take?
Usually it takes about 2 to 3 weeks if there is no deficiency.
Okay.
3 weeks is the maximum. I've seen them process it fairly quickly, sometimes even within a week.
Oh, perfect, great. So should I call you after a week to see if my application has gone through?
We do our best to follow up to make sure it does.
How do I know when my application has been processed successfully?
Okay, so if there was no deficiencies whatsoever, then usually you will get an email or a piece of mail from RICO requesting you to pay your insurance, the errors and omission insurance. They will send you a reference number and the web link that you need to log into for you to register on the RICO's My website. You would log in, it will prompt you to create a password, and then it will take you to the designated page for you to pay your errors and omission insurance. Once your errors and omission insurance is paid, then that reference number now becomes your RICO number.
Okay. For our new realtors that have just put in their application, you talked about errors and omissions. Can you explain to them what that is?
Okay, so errors and omissions in insurance that essentially protects the customers as well as the real estate from any negligent claims. Okay. It also does protect in case of any commission protection. And it is an annual fee that needs to be paid with RICO. Normally around, I believe it's June, is the deadline for that.
Okay. How much are the fees for the errors and omissions insurance?
The errors and omission insurance is $440, and it is prorated if you're a new agent, depending on the time that you join.
Okay. So now that I have registered for RICO, I've paid my dues for errors and omission. Am I registered now and licensed under RICO?
Yes, you're fully.
In Ontario, I can practice real estate?
You can start practicing real estate right away.
What's the next step in terms of my journey of becoming a realtor?
Well, now you need to become a member of a board.
Okay.
in order for you to have access to all of the MLS listings or to be able to upload any listings.
So now, can I register for any real estate board, local boards?
No, you can only register with the real estate boards that your brokerage is members of.
Okay, so then it is important for them to double check with their brokerage to see which board they're part of and which they can be part of. Okay, perfect. Tanya, can I register for any of the local real estate boards, or does it have to be any specific ones?
An agent can only register for the real estate board that their brokerage is members with.
Okay, and what is the process like for that?
Usually they're fairly quick. A new application, a brand new members application needs to be submitted and filled, again executed by a broker of record. You have to submit it to the board, and it usually takes about 48 hours for it to be processed.
Well, usually I'm sure the audience is also wondering, how much is the cost of joining one of the boards?
Well, it does depend board to board.
Let's take TREB, for example, the Toronto Real Estate Board, because that's one of the most common ones. How much is the cost for that?
So the maximum cost is $2,200. It is prorated depending on the date that you become a member.
Okay. So halfway through, it's going to be different.
Yes.
How would I know how much the exact cost is before?
So usually you would get like a spreadsheet with the breakdown of all the costs emailed to you by TREB.
Okay.
Indicating the amount that is due.
That is due at that particular time. So once my application goes through for TREB, how do I know that the application has been processed?
Okay, so TREB will send you an email, or sometimes even give you a call and let you know that your application has been processed and that your new membership package is ready to be picked up.
Okay, so then so when I register and the application has gone through, I have to pick up a new membership package. What does that new membership package composed of? Okay,
so the new membership package includes, it's a small little booklet that has all of TREB's rules and regulations and procedures. Okay. So it's kind of like a go-to little booklet that agents can use for references, as well as the token, the TREB token, that you need in order for you to access your Stratus. And
the authenticator you're referring to. Okay. And with that authenticator, what is it that I can do?
So with the authenticator, it's like your access to be able to log into Stratus and be able to look for listings and also to be able to upload listings of your own.
Okay. Well, I know this because this happened to me. Once you join TREB, are there any certain obligations that I have as a new TREB member, TREB being one of the example of a local real estate boards, are there any certain obligations that I would need to meet?
Yes, there are two very important obligations that need to be met, and if not met, then your TREB membership will be revoked, you will be suspended or terminated, and then your whole fees would need to be paid again. And those are two orientations that you need to do. One is in-class orientation, and then there's another one that's an online orientation. And you can go on to TREB and you can sign up for whatever time or dates are convenient, but it does need to be done within 90 days.
Yes. So we received those emails once we registered. So we received those emails. It asks us to sign up for one of the classes online right away. We can do it at any particular time. In Ontario, can I practice real estate under any other name other than my legal name?
Yes, you may. It's called a trade name, and it needs to be RICO approved and registered. It could be one of two ways. If the trade name that you want to use is part of your original name, for example, Elizabeth, and you want to use Ellie, you don't need an affidavit for that. However, if your name is Elizabeth and you want to use a different name like Lucy, you will need an affidavit, and any notary or lawyer can do that for you.
Perfect. Now, coming to the point that so far what we have discussed is that it's all about a new agent joining Realty Point. What happens if you're an existing agent and just transferring. How does that process work?
Okay, so it's a much quicker process.
Okay.
It usually can be done within 24 hours if it's done online. At this moment, I think they're still offering the sending in the transfer application into RICO, but it is about to be terminated, that process.
Okay.
They're trying to do everything online. It takes about 24 hours maximum. It's done immediately through RICO. However, TREB does take about 24 hours.
As well?
Yes, for TREB to be done.
And what are the fees like for the transferring?
So the transfer fee for RICO is $100 plus HST, and the transfer for the board, it depends from board to board. TREB being the most sought after, it's I believe $25 plus HST. Okay.
Now, does the process of a new agent, when I transfer, do I have to do those new agent orientations again or no?
No, no you don't, because you've already done them and completed them, that you don't have to do it. So it's a lot more quicker process.
Perfect. Now, in regards to in the future down the line, when whether with RICO or with TREB, I decide to change my information, such as my contact information, my name, my address, or anything, trade name that you're mentioning, how do I do that, both with RICO as well as with TREB?
Okay, so if it's a trade name that you're going to do, you do need to fill out an application, a trade name application form, and submit it.
Okay.
If it's just your contact information, as in your cell phone or your email, you can easily do that online. You log into my web, which is the same way you originally did to pay your insurance, and it's the profile you have with RICO. You can update your details there.
Okay.
For TREB, you will need to send an email to memberships app at TREB and TREB.com and update all your information there. Just request it.
Okay. And do I need to do one of them first before the other?
You need to make sure that it's the change has been processed through RICO before you do it through TREB.
So TREB won't do it. No. Let's say if I'm registered as a different name, TREB won't change that information.
No, they're only going to go by whatever is registered with RICO.
On RICO. Sounds good. Now, so the new process has gone. I know we discussed about the fees and whatnot. What about renewals? So how often do I need to renew my RICO license? How often do I need to renew my TREB license?
So your RICO license is renewable every 2 years.
Okay.
The effective date is the date of registration. So if your registration was January 1st, then your renewal will be January 1st, 2 years later. As for TREB, your renewals every year.
Okay.
I believe it's June every year. It needs
June
to be
of every year.
Yes.
Okay. Now you were mentioning that, for example, my RICO insurance I have to pay online to the RICO website, and I have to create an account, or I need to make all my changes and my name, address, whatnot. I need to do that online. But first you were mentioning I need to create an account, my web account on RICO. How do I go about doing that?
Okay, so you would go to the RICO website, www.rico.on.ca. On the right-hand top corner, there is an icon that's My Web. You would log into there. Usually when you initially registered, when you paid your insurance, you either used your email address or your RICO number, and then you created a password, and hopefully you remember it, so you can go back on and log on through there.
So it is imperative to remember that password and save it somewhere safe.
Yes, very important.
Now that I am registered with RICO and TREB, and I can start practicing real estate now, can you guys help me to fast track getting started in real estate? What other support does Realty Point provide for me?
Okay, so immediately after signing all of the applications, whether you're a new agent or a transfer, the onboarding sends the new agent a welcome email. Within the welcome email, there's a number of documents that are there to help support and guide the new agent in his new quest with Realty Point. First off, we provide them with all of the documentations that they signed, which includes the RICO and the TREB applications, along with the contract that they signed with the brokerage. They also get the Schedule B that is needed to be able to upload any listings. They also get the brokerage, the listing package and the transaction package. which includes all of the paperwork needed to do real estate. They will get the brokerage logos for any printing necessities that they may have, whether it's business cards for sales or open signs. We also will give them a contact and support info sheet, which has the department's phone numbers, extensions, the people they may contact in the different departments, and what their duties and responsibilities are, so that they can see specifically who they need to contact and for what. We also give them the pre-authorization form, which is kind of like a form where they have to put in their credit card details or their banking details so that we can direct deposit their commission or pay out any fees if they have, or if it's applicable to them via contract. We also give them a link to the new agent orientation presentation, which is a lot of information. I highly suggest people go in there and check that out, because it gives them the payment procedures, the lockbox numbers, the office hours, the different locations, the parking procedures. It's very lengthy and it's very informative. I highly recommend for people to do that. And also we activate their Wolf Connect modules, so they have access to that.
Great. Tanya, will I get records of all of these documents and applications that I've submitted for my records?
Yes, usually within 24 hours of you signing all of the documents, whether it's new agent or transfer, we generally send you a welcome email, and all of these documents are within that email, along with numerous other documentations.
Perfect. Now that I'm a registered realtor in Ontario, can Realty Point help me, or in what ways can Realty Point help me to fast track me getting into this industry?
Okay, so along with your contract and your documentations that you receive in your welcome email, you also do receive a new agent orientation.
Okay.
What that new agent orientation, it kind of details you the office and office policies and procedures, including the payment commissions, how it's done, what we need, the office locations, the parking instructions, the office contact numbers, and the different locations that we have. So it is a very detailed orientation, and I highly suggest people review it, make notes on it, ask questions if you have any questions on it so we can clarify any doubts. Along with that, we also attach the listing and the transaction package, which is all of the real estate forms in blank for you to know exactly what's needed for the listings and what's needed for the transactions. We also attach a contact and supporting document where you will get a detailed description of each department, who the head departments are, who are the employees under each department, their times of working, like their working hours, and their responsibility and duties, so that you know specifically who to reach out to if you have any questions. And I believe we also activate your Wolf Connect module. Which
on that note, then, can you explain a little bit further what the Wolf Connect module is?
So the Wolf Connect module is like your virtual online office. Where you can view your transactions, you can view your listings, you can add your contact information for your clients. I believe there's some marketing drip campaigns that you can actually speak with our marketing department, and they can try to help you out with that. And for some, you can also see the pre-construction project information there. So it's a very
sounds very comprehensive.
Yes, it's very.
Great. Are there any other tutorials and whatnot that I can use and access to learn this particular module?
Yes. Within the Wolf Connect module, there is my office events. Under office events, there's a number of trainings that we supply that each agent is welcome to log in and register to any of them, because they're repeated and there's different dates and times, so they can look and see what's convenient for them, and they can do so at that time.
Perfect. I remember that when I became a realtor with Realty Point, I received, there were certain obligations that I had to perform. That the onboarding department was constantly in touch with me to make sure that I'm set up properly.
Yes.
What were, if you can remind me again and refresh it for if you can recall that for our audiences, what were some of those obligations that I had?
So one thing that we find is very important is to make sure that you're completely and fully integrated into our system for paging purposes. We understand that that's an important tool for you to receive your confirmations and your cancellations and your bookings. So we do a test page out where we will test page and make sure that you are getting both text and email. And we request you to email back a response via email to let us know that you are receiving. That makes us 100% that you're fully integrated. And then we also, within the welcome email, ask you for a number of things that we need to kind of complete your file.
Okay.
And amongst those, we do ask for a picture and a bio because you are uploaded onto our website. So we kind of want to put a face to your name so that when people do look for you. So we do ask for your picture and a bio to promote you. We ask you for your HST number so that our deal secretaries are not looking last minute for it when they need to issue their T4, T4As.
T4As.
Okay. And we also attach a pre-authorized debit form. So we do follow up with you regarding that. We need that fully filled out with your credit card and banking information. We ask you to resubmit that to us with a void check. That is for direct deposit for your commission and to make any payments office desk fees if applicable. We also ask you to please email us your TREB number once you receive it because we won't have it on hand until you get your members package, and we won't know until you do so. And we also do ask you to constantly keep us updated with your new emails or telephone numbers, if applicable, so that we can integrate you into the system and we're making sure that you're getting all your pages and
Well, one of the things that I've noticed from this is, as a realtor, your messages, your pages, your confirmations is everything. And I know that you've emphasized that multiple times, and it is true. It is very important that you receive your confirmations and your text messages and messages that on your phone as well as on your email whenever for all your showings. So make sure that is working. I don't think we can emphasize that more than enough. Anyhow, I think we've covered quite a lot today, Tanya. Thank you very much for being with us and sharing your knowledge of this particular department with our audiences. And is there any last words?
No, I'm hoping that we covered everything, and I'm easily available. Me and my staff in the department are easily available. If you do have any questions or you need any clarifications, you're welcome to reach out to us.
And what was the email address that they can reach out to you guys?
Onboarding@realtypoint.ca.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Tanya.
You're welcome.